Digital Day, third IAB event in Serbia. The first Digital Day introduced IAB as a new organization in Serbia in 2 years. My name is Vladimir Aranđelović. I'm chairman of the board of IAB Serbia and digital media manager of Direct Media Agency. The first advertising expenditure grew in last 3 years. In 2011, we probably had 2012. We had a slowdown, mostly due to electoral year and crisis in the Eurozone. Regarding different advertising segments, display advertising is a major part. Mobile advertising expenditure increased 200%. A research study which was conducted on 12 top websites in Serbia, and it includes 6,600 computer-assisted web interviews. And regarding time of week when they use different media, when we talk about internet services, 71% of our respondents use social media at least once a day. Frequently via desktop, PC or laptop. And 70% of them access it via smartphone.
Digital Day. Hvala Vladimiru na veoma korisnim informacijama i kompanijama i na sprovedenom istraživanju. Provjerenim praksama koje su dale dobre rezultate u oglasnim kampanjama. Održavanje ove konferencije omogućile su kompanije koje odlikuje vizionarska poslovna strategija, Erste banci i brendu Ambipur. Srebrnim sponzorima Švepsu i Akademiji, kao i prijateljima koji se i ove godine portal nadlano.com, agencija Prima Medija i zvanična kafa konferencije Don Cafe. Zahvaljujemo se Soniju na podršci u tehničkoj opremi. Alison Fena, predstavnik matične asocijacije IAB.
First time that I've come here, so thanks very much for the warm welcome that I've had from you and your industry so far. What I'm going to talk about today is that happening here in Serbia from some of our research perspectives. But first of all, I want to talk about the importance of IAB, individual parts, if you like. So I think that one of the themes that I would really like to stress today is that if you bring more people together, you create more than the sum of the parts. So, to give you a quick idea about IAB Europe and how we work, we have 25 staff now working on IAB across Europe. And then we have an increasing number of corporate members who are members of IAB at a European level, helping to of the medium, protection of the medium, proving it, which is the research largely where I come into play, and also professional. So I'm going to start off talking about research, and I'm going to talk about our ADEX study and also the Mediascope study, which Serbia came into for the first time with the 2000. Serbia is on the consumer side, and I think you will see that there's a gap there. The spend isn't quite up where the consumption is, and that's one only group of IABs worldwide that do that. So we've innovated, which is great. We've been doing it for about 6 years, and that enables us to show the absolute. One of the things that we can say is that digital is still well on the growth curve. So let's have a look at that we've seen this year pushing that forward. Well, a lot about mobile. Obviously, you've mentioned here figures of 200% growth for mobile, and we've seen a massive, also in the use of data to drive digital advertising. So I'm going to talk now about Mediascope, and 10 markets have been in it since 2004. Serbia was added for the first time this year. Omnibus fieldwork by Ipsos and online by Global Part GMI. I've pulled out some key stats for you, and then I want to talk about 3 what I call myths. So they're just quick myths where people are fantastic. The increase for the 10 market figures was 20% since we last did the study. Breaks down in terms of percentage in each age bracket that uses digital and the split between women and men. So still slightly more male internet users than female. And here's a quick look at European time spent per media. So online, we've now got nearly 15 hours per Serbia. It's a very similar picture. Online, a little bit behind the European average with 13 hours, and TV, a lot of internet access across the region. And again, you've got some comparisons for 68% of Europeans own a mobile phone. You use a tablet when you watch TV, and what the interruption factor is in terms of that video watching shifting to tablet rather than being on TV. Serbian picture. Again, you see a huge range of activities now being undertaken on smart with other media, and mum's internet penetration was quite low. And we found that the media habits of mums really centred more around TV and magazines they are spending 20% of their budget online now as opposed to offline. Also, we found that the internet, they see it as a great enabler, so it's enabling them to manage considering how to invest online. It's not just about the medium, it's about the content and the lifestyle and the habits. And here's a quick look at 1% of adults are accessing the internet right across that market. 70% of adults, 55 plus, who are internet using local government information, finding out about better products and services, they've got more time to research, so they really use the internet to find out what's tablet and games console. We're able to see the different patterns of multitasking use. I think we're going to go.
Il m'arrive d'écouter la radio sur mon ordinateur, de faire ça en même temps, de consulter des sites d'information. Oui.
And sometimes even do some research about the program or whatever.
Televizyon izlerken bile elimden iPhone veya iPad'im düşmez. Düşmez kapta oluyor.
Watching TV programs now, there's quite a lot of games online that you can play along while you're watching a TV show. And also, I would definitely tweet quite a lot while watching TV, and especially kind of
level. 11% of people who say they media multitask do that first thing in the morning. 17% tasking habit. Okay. So last, social networks, and again listening to music came through very strongly, and also making telephone calls online.
sowas wie Coca-Cola anschaue, aber auch selektiv im zum Beispiel Bekleidungsbereich, Hugo Boss, weil das eine Marke ist, die ich auch viel im Business anziehe.
Evet, takip ediyorum. Hani bakmak istediğim şeye çabuk ulaşabiliyorum. Bir şey araştırmam gerektiğinde işimle ilgili kolaylık oluyor benim için. Hayatım kolaylaştırıyor.
Ja, die heb ik al eens via het internet gekocht.
Est-ce qu'Internet a influencé mes décisions d'achat? Oui, absolument. D'abord, il y a des achats que je ne ferai plus que sur Internet. J'imagine pas aujourd'hui aller dans une agence de voyage. Je vais nécessairement...
I'm a fan of Facebook, I will more events of the site to I would definitely be influenced by what other people maybe have recommended online when I'm buying things. I do a lot of, it also gives you a lot of opportunity to do a lot of research from different places. And so if I was going to buy, for example, a new piece of computer equipment, I would ask people on Twitter about it.
Forse è bellissimo. Molto vintage.
Ja, bij alles wat ik eigenlijk doe, dat is televisie of een fotocamera of wat dan ook, zit ik eerst op sites te kijken naar een vergelijking.
Market with a 5-year-old baby is, well, it's a nightmare. So being able to do all that online, that's had the biggest impact recently.
Alışverişte internetten çok sık yapıyorum. Genelde zaten mağazada ürün denemeyi sevmeyen birisiyim. O yüzden internetten alışverişte çok pozitif bakıyorum.
Thank you much for letting me talk to you today. I hope I've given you a good introduction so that you can delve more deeply into different areas through the day. If anybody's going to be brave enough to ask a question, I'd be very happy to answer it. So are there any questions out there?
Da li se čujemo sada? Da li imamo pitanja? Može i na srpskom pa ćemo prevesti.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks a lot for the warm welcome. I will talk to you about, as it says, understanding. So what is this consumer journey that we're talking about? Nobody really talked about consumer journeys, however you want to call them. Journey is a model which describes the theoretical customer journey from the first moment of need to the ultimate goal of a purchase. So that's basically what I will talk about today. Research, or that we actually arrive at a purchase. And whether that's low consideration, we heard that before today, before we all had to, you wait until, someone or yourself travel to another country, or you even order something from Amazon online, but you really hear, that makes people think, I definitely need this. From there, what information is needed to make offline, online, and what exactly is it that I want to buy? Then obviously online we really need to understand the role of search. We saw over 90% of people using search all the time. What is the role here of websites like Google? What is the role of advertising? We're moving into this direction slowly but surely. What are brand websites, retailer websites? What is the role of mobile? We really need to understand all of that. And then most importantly, how are products and services selected in the end? And when you do research, and then you look at what they actually do, there is kind of a spontaneous element in that as well. And very, very important is this whole element of disruption as well. Sort of what does disrupt is. So take all of those into consideration. And our biggest results from Germany, UK, France, Holland, Spain, etc., so quite a few Western European countries. And we saw that it doesn't really matter which one is there. I mean, obviously, when you look at the figures here from Telco, best hotel, and I want to go on holidays. Often this is because they're quite disappointed about the content, and what we see is that quite a lot of brands don't really see or don't really connect the dots really well, don't really connect their offline, the same content that you can find offline, online again. So if you don't understand where people go first, or where people, what the average pathway is, or not average, but what the general pathway is here. In general, we really see that the internet is really, really good in refining your actual need. So you might want a tablet, and that's the need that you have at the very beginning and part of the presentation here. All of that doesn't only, we're not only talking about the internet in terms of fixed line internet, purchase journey, so basically really from sort of the awareness stage through to the real research stage, and then very, very close before purchase. You really see the set of smartphone owners have followed up an ad that they saw somewhere, mostly on TV, and they have followed up this ad, they have followed up a recommendation on their mobile phone. It's there, it's quick and easy, and I think we all know. And then basically something very interesting as well here is that
When you look at smartphone internet sessions or smartphone research sessions, they're often much different websites. And then also when you look at the impressions, it's much, much shorter. Normally you look at 2 to 3 pages, and that's it. You do a recommendation, look something up. And when you compare that to fixed lines of PC internet usage, that's obviously much longer again. When you look at 56, well, now I think we're over 70% already of mobile searchers who have searched for a brand or product.